Hey, we're back at the top again today on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon, now in week 39, which we are only a little bit over 5 weeks remaining until the promised day, November 18th, 2016. So we're almost at that destination. We're almost at our destination, but we just gotta wait a little bit longer. But without further ado, this is the weekly news roundup from all the stuff that was released or revealed to us around the internet, in the past week. A little bit of a heads up on what's to come on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'll be very quick. First of all, on the 14th of October, this Friday, we got a new trailer. I'll try to drop the world's quietest reaction number 9 then. Plus, we got Coral this week. So, we got 3 stops on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon this week. But then, next week, we got a huge attraction to have a stop at. We have to stop at it because it's the demo of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Here's praying that they don't stick all of the data in the demo like they did with the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Just a heads up, I am not going to cover any data mining from the demo if they made the same mistake again. So I just wanted to let you know that. So this is a safe haven. If you don't want to get spoiled by anything from the demo, if they do data mine the game and there's stuff in the game, you feel free, like literally, I will not talk about it because I want to go into this game blind like I did with X and Y. So apologies about having that a little bit further on, but I just wanted to make that clarification. But the first things first, let's hop right into it. The Spanish Pokemon Sun and Moon site showed the Ice Stone, probably how we evolve Alolan Vulpix. Now, obviously, in Spanish, I can clearly tell that's an Ice Stone because Hylio, I apologize if I botched these names because I haven't taken a Spanish course since, I believe, 4 years ago. So if I botched any of these names, I apologize. Because, of course, I'm pretty sure Piedra Etuna is the Everstone. Obviously, Piedra Helio is the Ice Stone. Piedra Fuego is the Fire Stone. I actually don't know what Piedra Pomez is, though. Piedra Agua is the Water Stone. I know that for a fact. But Piedra Helio is the Ice Stone, which means we have to put things into perspective now. We already have a Leaf Stone, and this Ice Stone more than likely will help evolve Alolan Vulpix. Now, we have a Leaf Stone and an Ice Stone now. Do you know where I'm headed down? Do you know which road I'm headed down? Yes, I'm talking about Eevee. Because ever since Generation 4, they've had to just stick an Ice Stone and a Mossy Rock somewhere in each of the new regions. And I'm assuming they're getting kind of tired of always having to do that. So they kind of just tied everything together. I mean, it all comes together, you know what I mean? But the Ice Stone, more than likely, I really hope that the Ice Stone evolves Eevee into Glaceon. And same thing with the Leaf Stone. I know that Pokemon and Game Freak kind of wanted to keep it continuous in regards to the games, and the fact that Eevee can't evolve via the Leaf Stone, but they decided, at least I hope they decided that they made it to where it can finally evolve via these stones, because that way they don't have to stick random rocks in each of the new regions, because it's kind of redundant. So here's hoping. And now we move on to the last thing, because there's a little bit of a whoa, pardon me, that was an error. This last thing, the Pokemon Sun and Moon file size is to be doubled of X and Y's. This is, of course, PokeJungle.net. So shout outs to PokeJungle.net. I'll leave the link in the description below, because if you think about it, it's double X and Y. And why is that? Well, let's get on with it right now. The world of Pokemon just keeps on getting bigger, and so does the space required by each new game. When Pokemon X and Y were released for the Nintendo 3DS, they took up about 1.7 gigabytes individually, which was a leap from previous generations. The remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, were bigger still, but only about a tenth of a gigabyte. Now, the next generation of Pokemon, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, will require twice the amount of space, and fans downloading the games will need 26,215 blocks, aka 3.6 or 3.2 gigabytes, free on their console for each title. That is pretty massive, and hopefully an indicator that there is a lot to do in these games. Many have been worried that all the new news releases have been spoiling the contents of the Alola region before we even step foot on one of its sandy beaches, but the islands may hold more secrets than we think. The Japanese Pokemon site has also warned players that a 4GB SD card will most likely not be large enough to store the demo and full game. So now might be a good time to go shopping for a high-capacity SD card if you need one. Fun fact, I just got an SD card for my capture card, so we will be okay for that demo that comes out. So, with that, what does this mean? Well, I've always wanted it to be here. I've always wanted a certain thing to return. Now, if you look at it, you have X and Y. They are the colors of red and blue. And that's what they stand for. At least that's the color of X and Y, of course. Now, what is the color of the sun and moon? It's kind of like a tealish and a goldish. Now, what was the last generation to have that? Generation 2? Maybe? More like? Yeah, Generation 2. And you know what else? Do you know what else? What? In alchemy, the sun and the moon, what do they stand for? They stand for... okay, I apologize for this seeming like Dora the Explorer. I'm not trying to sink it to that level. But in alchemy, the sun and the moon stand for gold and silver. I found that out from playing Uncharted 4 back in May, and it blew my mind. I'm thinking, are we really going to go to Kalos? I have not touched on this at all, though. If I did, it's very little on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon. And I wanted to say it this way. Most people are saying that, oh, it's because there's a lot of content in Pokemon Sun and Moon. And because it's like new graphics and such. But would it really be double? I'm still holding out for Kalos to appear in Pokemon Sun and Moon. That is my ultimate hope. And along with that, I need to throw it back to Generation 5 for a second. Because remember when there was a game link in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 that you can link up your game to Pokemon your Pokemon Black and White file to see like your names and what you did and your Pokemon. I was hoping that at the end you could face the team that you first beat the game with, in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. And I was really excited for that, had that been a thing. I mean, odds are I would have probably gotten my face stomped in by my Jolly Haxorus because that thing was a beast for me in Pokemon White. But, alas, it didn't happen. But we get a second chance, I hope, in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I hope that we can do something to where we can face our old teams from 3 years ago. That will be such an amazing thing to go through because you do not understand how I felt the first time when I went up to face Pokemon Trainer Red. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is the most craziest battle ever. And it's all going down for real. But we will find out. That is my opinion. But what do you think? Do you want to see Pokemon, or do you want to see Kalos in Pokemon Sun and Moon? Do you want to see the evolutions of Glaceon and Leafeon to evolve via the Leaf Stone and the Ice Stone, respectively? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy this stop, go ahead and drop a like from the top and stick around because we have a lot of stops to get to in the next 2 weeks. And it only gets a lot more often from this point, especially in November, because there will also be, what's it called, an update video for you before the demo to what's going on with all the series I got coming and going and to and fro. So stick around for all of that as we start going on the on-ramp into Alola by hitting the subscribe button. But I hope you did enjoy watching this video. I thank you for watching this video. And I hope to catch you back at the top later on in another stop on the road to Pokemon Sun and Moon or anything else I do on my channel, because that's how you do what? Here we go! I forgot! What is he standing on?